Hello students, today we are going to take Unit 2 and the topics we will cover in this part will be forms of technical communication, importance of technical communication and technical communication skills that we call LSRW, listening, speaking, reading and writing. So we begin. Firstly, I will introduce you what we mean by forms of technical communication. In the previous lectures, we have discussed what is technical communication and its importance. So, the forms of technical communication in the fast growth of technical knowledge coupled with the development of sophisticated information technology has changed the way we communicate in professional situations. We prefer fast, interactive and result-oriented forms of communication such as viva voce, email, video transmissions. We have been familiar with teleconferencing, video conferencing, intranet transmission, and so many. And to the traditional and slow forms of communication, such as the letters, memos, newsletters, and so forth. So really we have evolved. Today, one may find a range of interactive technologies for communication. However, technical communication still depends on two basic forms of communication, oral and written. Here, we will be including yet two along with oral, written, external and internal. Firstly, we come up with oral and written forms of communication. Each form of communication has its merits and demerits. While oral communication provides immediate feedback and promotes better understanding, written communication provides a permanent record and facilitates the creation of organized messages. Oral communication gives a personal touch to the communication process, but written communication is impersonal as the two communicators can see each other. The choice of an appropriate form of communication may depend on the need and the purpose of communication situations. The second, we have the external and internal forms of communication. So these are the two widely recognized categories in technical communication. The external communication, it consists primarily of describing the areas of expertise technical people or professionals. This may include any communication that an organization does with the people belonging to other organization. So external communication is communication between an organization with an outer organization. Then comes internal communication. The name itself suggests it includes memos describing problems or requesting additional resources, different kinds of reports, proposals, internal presentations, company meetings, policy statements, office instructions and office descriptions to be used for public release or the company website. So these communications are made and done only within inside the communication, and it signifies it to be an internal communication. The next type, the form of communication we have is general and technical communication. In the general communication, let's say, it is used in common talk, as the name itself, to mean speaking or writing or sending a message to another person. It only involves ensuring that your message has reached the target audience, that is the person to whom you wanted to send, and the receiver understands and responds as you want them to. It also involves ensuring that you yourself are able to understand, interpret, and respond to messages that you receive. Communication, general communication, is an important aspect of social human behavior. Then comes technical communication. We see it is the process of communicating a specific message to a specific audience with a specific purpose. The repetition of word specific indicates its special nature. It is the need-based specific characteristic of technical. There are several characteristics of technical communication that makes it different from general communication. We will notice below how both are distinct in content and your style and approach of presentation, attitude, organization, and language. So we come to the importance of technical communication. So before we list the importance, we count the importance of technical communication, we have an introduction to it so that we can write better about this topic. Technical communication plays an important role in any organization. All managerial or administrative activities involve communication. When you write reports, give instructions, or read brochures and manuals, you are involved in the process of communication. The success of any organization, it largely depends on the quality and quantity of the information flowing through its personnel. Technical communication in an organization can be oral or written, but both are equally important. It is not necessary that all these forms of communication should exist in an organization. An organization becomes an organized whole because of its communication. Therefore, the importance of technical communication can never be ignored. The technical communication is a significant factor in your work experience. For several reasons, business technical communication is not a frill or an occasional endeavor. It is a major component of the work environment. Through technical correspondence, employees firstly maintain good customer-client relations, that is, they send and receive letters, follow-up letters. Then it ensures that work is accomplished on time by cross-sending directive memos or emails. We see most of the communications in today's world is done digitally, electronic communication. The next importance of technical communication, forms of technical communication, in all the above forms, they provide documentation that work has been completed in the form of, it may be in the form of progress reports. So then it generates income. You sell letters, brochures, and flyers. It keep machinery working, like user manual. Every machinery, every technology one is operating, he has to go through the manuals so that he gets the idea how to operate the machinery. For example, when you use a new mobile, first you go strictly through the user's manual so that you can handle it accordingly. Next importance, it ensures that correct equipment is purchased. Technical descriptions. Whenever you purchase an equipment, you get a letter of technical descriptions, and before opening or before using it, you go through the technical descriptions or specifications that mentions you have got what you ordered or what you anticipated. So next importance, with communication we participate in teleconferences or video conferences, which are oral forms of communication. To get a job, we go through submitting resume and CV followed by interview. So these are all forms of professional communications. So to get a job, it is also one of the importance of technical communication forms. Then defining terminology, online help screens we use to define terminology. And the last importance we count here, inform the world about a company's products and services by putting its brochure informations on internet websites and blogs. So it has taken place, it has overcome the traditional forms of communications. No more we depend on the conventional forms of communications. So communication has advanced and has been advancing with the advancement of technology. So one has to keep proper pace with the technology so that he remains effective professional. Now we come to the second part of the chapter, that is technical communication skills. We remember it in form of LSRW, listening, speaking, reading and writing. Whenever in the exam there comes a question to talk about technical communication skills, we should bear in mind that communication skills are conglomeration. It is a sum of 4 skills. Communication skill is never 1 or 2. It is sum of 4 skills: listening, speaking, reading and writing. A technical communication may be oral or written, but it involves all these skills of language. So many aspects of there are applicable to general communications also. Even in general communication, we use these skills or these features of the skills. So now we are going to discuss the 4 one by one and their quality, characteristics and features and how to take care performing any of the 4s. Listening. Listening skills is probably one of the most important language skills that you need in order to be successful in your academic or professional pursuit. Whether you are a student or you are a worker, you are an engineer or professional, you need the listening ability. The students have to listen, for example, to lectures, explanations during tutorials and practical sessions, seminars and workshops, technical presentations, academic discussions, academic interactions, viva voce tests and so on. So these are all the academic uses of listening. Then second, we have joining a profession. One may be required to listen to discussion in meetings and conferences, seminar, business presentations, news bulletins, pre-recorded talks, telephonic conversations, teleconferences and video conferences and so forth. Hardly is there any academic or professional or business work that does not require effective listening skills. It means listening skill is the first characteristic of effective technical communication. Next we move. One needs effective listening skill as it is a state of receptivity. You receive well if you have a good listening skill, and it permits understanding of what is heard and fronts the listener's full partnership in the communication process. One cannot be effective communicator unless one is an effective listener. As we have heard, a good listener is a good speaker, and oral communication cannot be complete without listening. For a student, his academic success lies in his or her academic performance. Partly depends on the quantity and quality of listening. By listening to the classroom lectures, academic discussions in seminar and workshops and speeches, he acquires a lot of professional knowledge and expertise needed to excel in his profession. So the last in the listening, in the multi-purpose function of listening serves individual needs and aids in implementing oral communication goal. There are many ways by which decisions are made in an organization: by discussions in meetings and conferences, by negotiation in business dealings, by voting in democratic processes, and so on. All these majorly include listening ability. In brief, we can list that listening summarizes to makes oral interaction possible. It aids in decision making. It stimulates others to act to achieve individual as well as professional objectives. It develops information and understanding essential for decision making in a meeting or conferences. Then it leads to unification between activities of individual and work team. That means the individuals and team, individuals form a work team. They work in a form of team. So it becomes a team effort, and the listening and interacting in a teamwork is a good example of listening activity. It promotes maintenance of professional relations directly. Then we come to the second skill, speaking skill. So speaking skills are another very important attribute for person's professional survival and growth. One needs them to be successful in one's academic and professional pursuit. In fact, every academic, professional or business work requires effective speaking skill. Whether you are a scientist engaged in a technical research, a business executive involved in business activities, or a student working for a professional degree, you need effective speaking skills in order to take an active part in oral communicative processes. Some of the functions of oral communications can be as follows. Firstly, let's see of the oral speaking, we have the functions asking and answering questions. So in asking and answering questions, in meetings, talks, business presentations, lectures, seminars, conferences, even training sessions, field work and laboratory works, we discuss in form of questions and answers. So asking involves asking questions related to non-verbal data, formulae, equations, measures, numbers, fractions, and cardinal and ordinal numbers. Answering questions, providing clarification when a teacher provides clarification or he mentions the lecture, he speaks, and that is an example of answering and questioning. Then expressing opinions and comments we do by speaking. So in this we ask for opinions, we express criticism, objections and doubt. By speaking we express general comments, agreeing and disagreeing we express by speaking, giving suggestions, seeking suggestions, stating point of view, your stating point of view, all these are done through speaking. So next we have academic and professional oral interaction. At any academic place or professional place you interact orally, and that is one more activity of speaking. During interacting during interviews, you see viva voce tests in your practical exams, or interacting orally with experts or professionals to arrive at a project, at a decision. Listening is done, speaking is done. Then academic and professional discussions, then meeting and conferences. In meeting and conferences we conduct meetings, we participate in meetings. Summarizing and concluding in meetings is all the oral communication function. Then even oral presentations, we see making oral presentations in your conferences or workshops or seminars, when you are persuading, when you are explaining someone heartily, making him believe your discussion, that is persuading. Then using visual aids effectively, we do it by our oral communication. So several factors have contributed to increased importance of speaking skill today. And see, as oral communication is a tool of professional and business interaction, one should be able to use it fluently, effectively, and confidently. A speaker should have a sound knowledge of grammar and lexical forms and sound, that is phonetics or phonology. One should have the ability to be understanding interlocutor, create coherent discourse, and take appropriate turns in conversations. That is a very witty speaker who can influence the speaking, who can move through the speaking and win the opportunity, as well as have the ability to negotiate meaning with other by creating reciprocity or perspectives on the topics of discussion. So this is how we conclude the oral discussions. Now we come to the reading part. Like listening and speaking, reading is crucial to effective communication. Effective reading skill is necessary as one may need to read several kinds of reading materials for different purposes: general, academic, and professional. To both professionals and students, excellent reading skill are a must for success in their pursuits, in their jobs, in activities, in absence of which any academic, professional, or business work will suffer. So we see how reading ability has a feature in one's professionalism or inverse personality. So the changes in business and industrial fields, coupled with development of advanced information technology, have greatly changed the way we receive and interpret information. Reading is a special technique that includes receiving and interpreting sophisticated technical material, email messages, internet information, information on websites, and so on. You attain the ability to read and analyze scientific texts if you are a skilled reader. You read instruction manuals and technical materials in different forms and you comprehend it. So it adds to your comprehension ability. It also includes the ability to understand and interpret graphic informations. So this is what includes in reading ability, and it is one essential part in your communication skills. So the last we have is the writing skills. The writing, as we are very well aware, the significance of writing, it cannot be overemphasized. It is equally important for all students of all kinds of professionals in their fields. As a student, a person needs effective writing skill to write examination answers, project reports, lab reports, its summaries, the synopsis, abstracts, and subject notes. The professionals are required to write business letters, memos, emails, reports, proposals, minutes of meetings, or any study notes, or professional summaries, and so on. Both professionals and students need excellent writing skills to survive and excel in their job, in their task, as there is hardly any academic or professional activity that does not require writing skills. So this is the 4 communication skills, LSRW: listening, speaking, reading, and writing, with which we excel in our personality. So this is how we come to the end of this topic. Thank you.